Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage. We've had quite a big sell-off here, so we're going to be talking about a couple of options within here, whether we could see a bounce and how high that potentially could go, as well as whether we do think that this could reverse to the upside. So we're going to be discussing a couple of things within this video. Make sure you stay tuned so you see them all. Just also want to say thank you for watching. If you're enjoying the content, please smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on those bell notifications, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description you'll find links to Discord. Come check it out. So what we were looking for here. And I'm basically wanting to see whether this green box area continues to hold as support. We are potentially coming up to this channel line that we've been within. So that could also be an interesting area here at this 22,800. If we do move back down into this zone, I'll be watching to see how we get a reaction off of this, as well as this golden pocket area here of this 22,775 to this 22,646 area. If, however, we do look to push down lower, potentially this 22,200 or 22,177 area could be quite an interesting zone as well. You know, if we do move down into this zone, what I'll be looking for is to see whether we start to get a reversal to the upside. If we do start to get some five-wave structure here, it could potentially mean that we have that possibility of this extension to play out here, where we could look to actually target up higher here to this 29,876, and then effectively look for this to come up into the zone here of this 31.8 to this 36.13. So this is just a possibility. If we do lose this low point here of this 21,351, this would become invalidated. And like we have said in previous videos, we have met the minimum requirement coming up into this high point here for a fifth wave. So we could actually look for that to break down. So we're going to break down this internal structure of what we're looking for here. Um, what I'm looking at the moment is looking at this as a WXY, where this has been an A down in here, this has been a B, and then a C wave into here. And I'm looking at this as a connector wave because we've actually broken down from here. And if we're trying to count it, we didn't we didn't get a good five-wave move within here. So I'm just looking at it as a corrected X wave at the moment. We can argue that potentially, there's something else going on here where we have an A into here. This is a B as a flat, and then basically W and X and a Y like this. So yeah, we can move it around a little bit, but the target area is pretty much the same anyway. So what I'm looking for within this is this bit's the tricky bit within here. So this little area here, I am looking at it as a triangle where we look at this like this, where this has been an A wave, then you had a triangle for a B, and then we're having that as a C wave to the downside. So that's how I'm viewing it at the moment. But if we do continue to extend down here, we'll have to just be a little bit careful because we could also argue that potentially, we have a one and a two into here, and then potentially we have another 1, 2 here, and then finally another 1, 2 here. So if this does start to extend down deeper, this would indicate that we have, rather than a triangle there, we'd have to look at this potentially as having some nestled ones and twos within this move here. This first one right here would have to be a diagonal. This one here actually complies if you can count it as a five-wave structure without any overlap. So that's still a possibility. But for the most part, I'm treating it as a triangle for now, just because that is what it looks like more than anything. And what we'd be looking for is the fact we've actually come down here already towards this 1-to-1, and we've come, I'm going to measure it off this. So we've come down to this 1-to-1, which is actually this 2356. So we've come down there, we've actually broken down a little bit lower here. So what I'd be looking out for within this structure is effectively the potential to come down a little bit deeper here. So we can see that the 1236 would be here at this 22,833, 1382 would be this 22,697, and then the lower range here would be this 22,477 zone. So that would actually line up quite nicely with that 702 retracement within here. So this would be interesting to see how it plays out. If we do move down a bit lower, we can look at these targets slightly different. Because really, if we want to treat this as a triangle, this move can sort of extend down deeper and actually look to push through that 1618. But what I'd be looking at as well is from this side here, looking at this as an X wave. Potentially, this could be an interesting zone here. So this is this what gray target box here. this 22,900 to this 22,000 zone. This could be a zone we could actually look to find some support. If we do, like I said, start to break down deeper here and we continue to break down with additional fourths and fifths, then I would say that we have potentially some extension within here. And in that case, then we'd have to be careful that we don't have that bigger five-wave structure developing that we're talking about. Like I said, as soon as we drop past this 21,351, it invalidates this potential as an extension. We can still argue that uh, like I said, either this is completed here, or we would have to treat this as a B wave and then look for this move to the downside as a C wave, potentially as a five-wave structure. So if we do form a five-wave move here, we need to be a little bit cautious of that, especially if we do find support again within this region here, of this previous fourth wave, which would be down here lower. It's 20,390 up to sort of this 21,638. If we do find support in that zone again, we'd still have to be a little bit cautious that this wasn't just a bigger corrective move here, where we actually look to have this as an A, a B, and then a C wave to the downside. So these are all still possibilities. And if we do have that as a corrective move as an A, B, C, then we'd be looking for that continuation up. But yeah, for the most part, we have actually met the requirement by coming into this high. So we are looking for whether we can actually manage to move back down into the zone here. There's 20,757 to this 17,104. This would be a typical support zone. And what I'd be looking out for here would be the potential to find support on this channel top as well as this lower channel top. If we do manage to find support above this, we can argue that potentially, this could lead to a move to the upside here where we look to actually move back off of it. So this is going to be an interesting zone. Like I said, we've got this channel, but this top channel as well, which is currently sitting here towards the zone of 21.3. The lower one directly underneath us is sitting here at this 20,400. That's quite interesting that it lines up with this. Obviously, the longer this takes, the lower that target range goes. But yeah, I mean, we've got, so the 382 would be this 20,757, and then the lower range here would be the 50%. Then obviously we've got this lower range here with this golden pocket, this 18,574 to this 18,275. And the, if we were going to move down here, I don't think it would be just in a straight line. We're going to probably form if we're going to look at this as a corrective move as a W, X, Y, what we'd probably do is form this as an A wave. We'd come back up for a B wave, and then we'd look to drop back down for a C wave, something like this. So I do think, if we are going to look to break down, I don't think it's going to be directly here. I do think we're going to get a move back up into some of these zones and then look to break down further. So we'll just have to monitor how this move unfolds. And what we're talking about is that potential for that five-wave move. I'm just going to go over that quickly. It hasn't proven itself yet. I would want to see this thing start break down more towards this 21,966. And then we could be looking at that potential, like I said, that, within this structure here, because really, if this is a triangle here, we've actually satisfied the count already into this loan. If I come in here, you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So we can argue that this is a fourth like this, as an ABC, as a flat, and then we're forming some kind of a diagonal here to complete. But really, if it starts to drop down too much further than this, then it becomes more likely that we're getting some extension. So if we start to progress too deep here, it wouldn't really fit into this count anymore, and would mean that I'd have to look at this as potentially having some additional legs. So if this is a fourth, it could still move down one more time, and the zone I'd actually be looking for that to move into would be potentially this area here of this 22,726 to this 22,542. So that would still fit into this. But like I said, really we could actually count this completed already within here. So it is a little bit of a tricky one. We're gonna have to see how we react if we do push down one more time. Like I said, I'd be looking for potentially moving into this zone here, this 22,726 to this 22,542, and then that would be sufficient to count this as a completed five-wave move. Where we actually look to break down here, but the internal structure here is it's not great as well. We can argue that we could actually, like I said, be completed. And then if I just jump down here into the 15-minute time frame, we can argue there's a five-wave structure here, and then, this could all just be a corrective mess in here, and we've actually come down and we found support. So if we were looking to actually turn around from this point, we've actually come down to that 786, and we wouldn't really want to come down much lower than this. I'd want to see this react to the upside here. And then if we were looking for that potential for a turnaround from this point, what we'd want to see is this basically as a 1, 2, and then looking for that third wave to the upside. That third wave should look to actually take us up to the zone of this 23,662. So if we do start to see some impulsiveness to the upside here, then that's what I would anticipate as playing out here, where we get this to play out as a bigger five-wave structure. Then we could start arguing that we've got a 1, 2, then this would become a 3. We'd look for a fourth and a fifth. But yeah, at the moment, it's not looking like it's strong, and there is that potential to continue down. And I am being a little bit cautious, like I said, about this move up here, because as you can see here, we can potentially count this in a number of ways where we have some diagonals to start here, where this becomes a five-wave move down. Then we have this as this is a wave 2. Then this becomes basically a diagonal into here, 1, 2. We get another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 3. We get a fourth, or we can even count these internals potentially as diagonals here, where this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We get a flat, flat here, and then we get an additional leg here. So this is the thing with these structures; they can be counted as that, but we need to see them prove themselves. Really, like I said, if this is a triangle, it might have one more leg down, but if it starts to progress down and we do get like additional legs in here where we get this one come down, then we move up again into this zone of this previous fourth wave, and then we start to break down again, then it becomes more likely that we're actually getting those extensions, and that within this structure here, we have an additional 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then we get another fourth and a fifth, then potentially another fourth and a fifth, and that could actually bring us down towards this lower range here of this 21,996. So keep an eye on this area. Even if we do move down here, what we'd want to see is evidence of this fourth wave. I don't take moving down to the 1.618 just on merit, but if we do, we'd be looking at this retracement to the upside. If we get a three-wave move that potentially comes back up into this zone here, this 23,200 sort of area, then we could look for that additional fifth wave to the downside and see that continuation played out. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video. Leave us some feedback down below. In the description, you'll find a link to Discord. Come check it out. It is free to join. Also, in the description below, you'll find affiliate links for Primex, BT, and BYBIT. Check them out. They are great exchanges that we use on a regular basis. If you don't have an account, using the affiliate link does help support the channel. Everyone, have a great day. We'll see you in the next